Emancipation Day, coming from Canada. I want to thank you for all those who put in the work to help give us this day of celebration and this day to plant that seed, because we're culture farming. Plant that seed in your mind and your heart to grow good tree and good fruit from Emancipation Day. Emancipation Day. What does that mean? How can we celebrate that? How can we do it right? Emancipation Day. Today, supreme mathematics-wise, is the 28th. It's wisdom, wise words spoken by a wise person, and build or destroy. Destroy anything you don't know. Shine light in those corners of don't know, so you can bring knowledge to that, so you can order then build on a firm foundation of truth, which is right and exact. So to build on the foundation of truth, which is right and exact, we're going to Joshua Mupanga. Salute my king, Ashe Hotep. Endless smiles and belly laughs, blessings and health. Joshua has unlocked my mind, that poor and rusty lock, when he said, you know the Berlin Conference? Everybody out there, do you know the Berlin Conference? This is Emancipation Day. I mean, put in the work. The Berlin Conference. This was 1835, all right, when the white folks got together, put down a map of Africa, and then carved it up and fought over who gets what piece. The entire continent. Now, Ethiopia held out. A lot of that was due because they fought with the animals. The cheetahs and the lions fought alongside with them. You thought war horse was something. Check out war lions and cheetahs. But anyway, regardless of that, 1835 was the Berlin Conference where they carved up Africa. Now, we are still living and being governed by those borders that were either put in place then or moved around by the same people who divided them. We are still living under the same contracts that were put in place at that time or by those same people and moved around a little bit to best suit them. Divide up the power, the land, the wealth, and the resource of the continent. So Joshua Mupanga said, because the kings of Africa and the world are scared, because the presidents of Africa and the world are scared, he, my king, my great, like this is the Million Man March, the Million Man March Farrakhan stuff. I mean, he had some dope stuff, Family March, Youth March, but going to the Berlin Conference and proclaiming Africa is no longer following the borders put in place during and from the Berlin Conference. The contracts that were put in place were no longer following. Those contracts are over. Those contracts of trade, of who gets how much and what percentage, where it goes, done. Now, like Donald Trump or not, he showed the world with the NAFTA agreement that if there's a contract in the world that I don't like, I don't want it, it's done. It's done today, throwing out the contract, we're renegotiating, and it's going to work out to my benefit, and we're not signing a new contract until I oversee it and it's done anew. Well, building all that type of thinking, because that's what you can see now. I mean, the African sacred science says this is our time to do it anyway. But for pop culture, you see that? That's what we're saying. Contract done, no longer following anymore. Indigenous aboriginal people of the world who are put under these contracts, these rules, these regulations, these taxations, this culture, these religions, by genocide, rape, holocaust, murdering of women and children, destroying of the land, the wealth, stealing of the resource, polluting of the waters, polluting of the air, and deforestation. These are not the contracts which we need to live under. We've been emancipated. We have Emancipation Day in Canada, Emancipation Day in the States. You're emancipated whether they say you are or not. This is something to mind, knowledge of self, but regardless. Emancipation Day. Let's plant that seed. Salute to Joshua Mupanga for those wise words are unlocking our mind to something new. Just like when they're talking about the African dollar based on gold. Now everybody trades in the American dollar based on nothing. The African continent, the African people saying, the only way you can buy something from me is with gold. So when all these people who took place during the Berlin Conference buy something now from Africa, they'll be using the gold in which they stole from Africa, the gold, rubies, the diamonds, jewels, whatever. And if those countries cannot pay for it, Africa will take land. This is business. This is emancipation. This is why we're celebrating and planting the seeds. So us lost, now found, when we were deaf, dumb, and blind, when we were buried in the shallow grave, we're going to rise up, put our guts back in, our muscles back on, our skin back over, and we're going to breathe breath of life in our nostrils so we rise as that new people. I'm serious. Blue and red, serious. Emaya Atolo, serious. Dogon, serious. Salute and ashe. It's a new way to look at things. And diaspora. All of us out there in the diaspora. Africa is saying all these things, but they're also calling diaspora, saying, Africa, diaspora, we want to connect with you. We want to do business with you, trade with you, knowledge, wealth, land, resource, business, employment, equity, education. So diaspora, how are we going to deal with them? What is our body politic and jurisdiction in which we're going to deal with them mentally, physically, and financially? Mostly business, business, business. Spookism's over. We're talking business, business, business. Because the spirit that moves me is my breath. With fresh air controlled by the laws of nature and the laws of the cosmos. Constant peace. Ashe, Hotep, Hababa Ghani. Love you all. No. But happiness, kindness, and compassion I can have. That's right. Don't have to love everything, but strive for happiness, kindness, and compassion in those times when you're in not love, let's say. Peace.